Hello, hello, it's Jennifer Gilman here again, and we're going to talk about the green foods today, my favorite. And many of you have heard for years about how powerful and how important these green foods are, and you're about to see why. I'll give you a little bit of the science and, of course, ways we can incorporate these. Before I do that, though, I just have some awesome news that I just have to share. And it's on a personal note. Many of you know that I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's thyroiditis years ago, and the numbers were not good. So, those of you who have thyroid disease, and if you have Hashimoto's like myself, you know that those antibodies can be quite high in the thousands. And then, of course, your other numbers, T3, T4, TSH, all these numbers can be just so wacky. And I chose to go at it completely naturally. I did not use any pharmaceutical medications or anything, which I just want to state that it's not that I'm against them, it's just was my path that I chose. And people that choose the medication route, it's definitely a lot easier, I will tell you that, because your levels will get normalized quicker. And then, I recommend then working on lifestyle changes. I did it the hard way just because being an herbalist and all, I just really wanted to go at it in a natural way. So last December, exactly 12 months ago, was the first time I had normal numbers with my TSH, T3, T4, all of those thyroid numbers. And my antibodies came down drastically. So one of the numbers was only 75 and the other one was like 286. So this past year, I've worked really hard on getting these antibodies down, which a lot of doctors say you'll never do. They say once you are autoimmune, you will always be that way. Even if you get your other numbers down, the antibodies will never actually disappear. Well, I don't believe that's true. So I, of course, went at it to repair my leaky gut, which is very much attributed to those numbers. And I'm so excited to say that not only are my thyroid numbers in the normal zone, I just got my test results yesterday, but the antibodies, like I might cry, so okay, it's emotional. One number is zero, zero. The other one is only 100. So I was just so excited about that. I just want to share that with you and also give you hope for if you have something going on with your thyroid, keep at it, continue to work with your health coach, with your doctor, and do those lifestyle changes because it's so worth it. It is so worth it. So, enough of that. Let's jump into the green foods. I'm excited to tell you about these. The biggest one here is actually that it's anti-cancer, and I will tell you a little bit about why that is. You might have heard that before. Green vegetables, green fruits, green foods are anti-cancer. The deeper the green, the better. Okay, but it's also, of course, anti-inflammatory, and it also attributes to better brain health, cardiovascular, heart health, and bones. It's really good for bones, and as we age, we have to be concerned about that bone density because we don't want to fall and not recover from that. We want, if we have a break in a bone at an age that is, older, we want ourselves to recover quickly. So bone density is really important. The other thing that I love about this, and I spent, quite a bit of time studying as a hormone health coach as well, is that the green foods are very hormone balancing. So if you're having some things that are just, you're feeling maybe, hot flashes, things not quite right, maybe you're perimenopause or menopause, or just things aren't quite balanced, tackle the green foods. Start taking more of those in so that you can start to level out and balance things out. That might be one way to do it. Of course, you will want to go to the doctor and get those levels checked too. So I'm a big fan of getting proper testing. Now let's see what else here. So there's a long list of phytonutrients, the plant nutrients in greens. There's so many superstars here. They're just like all heroes. And one of them we talked about with the yellow foods was lutein, which is the carotenoid that helps with eye health. It's also present in green vegetables, particularly parsley, kale, and spinach. Okay, so I wanted to let you know about that. Other phytonutrients you might have heard of, indoles, and then chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is getting a lot of big press now. A lot of people are buying it in a dropper bottle and taking it, or just eating more greens. It's the chlorophyll is what makes the green green. Okay, what makes the broccoli green, that color, the spinach green. It's actually the chlorophyll, and it's very oxygenating for the brain. So again, the deeper the color, the better. Now the fruits listed that you can have would be like Granny Smith apples, avocado, limes, kiwi, green kiwi, olives, pears, and then I want to mention avocados and olives are considered fruit because of the pit. So technically they're a fruit. And these are superfoods, especially if you've heard about the Mediterranean diet, which is always a good, really good, stable diet if you want to follow Mediterranean. There's always, there's good, healthy fats in that, and vegetables and fish. And so the avocados, though, particularly, they're remarkable. They're truly remarkable. One whole avocado has 9 grams of fiber. And that's a lot. We need more fiber in our diet for everything in our body to work better, not just our digestive system, but our brain. But we don't get enough fiber. And that's one reason we're trying to get, more vegetables in, more fruits in, is to get more fiber. But avocado is really an amazing one to be able to get more of that. It also has more potassium than a banana. So I just wanted to shoot that out. In case you're in trivia over the holidays, you can get that question correct, that answer correct. One study, a study showed that eating a hamburger by itself led to increase of inflammation, which you kind of, no surprise there, in the body within hours after it was eaten. Now, take that same hamburger and put just a half of an avocado on it, and there was no increase of inflammation. Isn't that something? So if you're going to have a hamburger, obviously the best way to do it is get grass-fed ground beef, cook it at home, put your avocado on there, tomato slices, onion, whatever else you want on there. Sometimes I like to actually make a hamburger salad. I'll put a bit of lettuce, hamburger, lots of vegetables, that avocado, delicious. So you can think about that. Olives and olive oil are also really good choices in this category. Again, olives, right? So extra virgin olive oil should be used unheated or low heat cooking. It starts to not work as well, and it kind of goes off if it's high heat cooked. It's not really good for high heat cooking. You would want to instead use like coconut oil for that. So studies show that extra virgin olive oil is associated with reduced risk of type 2 diabetes and heart disease. So it also may help with the liver and blood vessel health. So just a couple of things there so you know a little bit more about that. Now vegetables, the list is huge, and I'm going to name them all because there might be some that you're like, oh, that's right, I wanted to try something new. For the green category, maybe I'll try this, okay? So we've got artichokes, bamboo sprouts, bean sprouts, bitter melon, bok choy, and I love baby bok choy, broccoli, broccolini, Brussels sprouts, green cabbage, celery, cucumber, edamame, green beans, green peas, greens of all types, chard, collards, dandelion, kale, lettuce, spinach, and turnip greens, okra, snow peas, and watercress. Now I want to talk a little bit about cruciferous vegetables, because sometimes you hear that word cruciferous and you're like, what is that? Or maybe you know a little bit about it, but you're like, well, why is that actually good? So cruciferous vegetables would be like Brussels sprouts, broccoli, watercress. They are considered anti-cancer because they contain compounds called glucosinolates. I have to say that slow. So let's talk a little bit about that, because I do want you to know sometimes you're like, well, anti-cancer, how does that actually work? When it's chopped or chewed, that compound turns into an active compound called isothiocyanates. Okay, you don't need to remember any of these, no quiz, but basically it's theorized. What they're trying to figure out is why is this reduced, is it anti-cancer? And the scientists are still trying to figure out exactly why. So it's theorized that these active compounds help enhance the body's natural detox systems. And that is how it reduces you from developing cancer. So it's really about the detoxification pathways of your body actually working better and better. One of the best anti-cancer vegetables, honestly, is broccoli sprouts. So if you can get your hands on broccoli sprouts and have those each week, that would be really good. I know Brook Street Farms sells broccoli sprouts if you're here local in St. Pete. So let's get on to the fun stuff to wrap things up. How do we get more green foods in? So a couple ideas here. Have an avocado, of course, on that hamburger. Have it on a salad, or top it off on grilled chicken breast. That's a great way too. It just goes really well. Making a stir fry with the bok choy, the broccolini, carrots, edamame, any of those. Have a cup of green tea instead of coffee. That counts. Extra virgin olive oil. You can have that just kind of sprinkled over any steamed vegetables. And then meat and vegetable dishes, just add more green colored herbs and spices like rosemary, oregano, dill, and thyme. So those are good things to add in and play around with those spices in your cupboard that maybe you haven't touched in a while. Toss some greens in your morning smoothie. So if you're already making a smoothie, throw some fresh spinach in there or some fresh kale, whatever it is, to add more in there. Making grilled Brussels sprouts. It's the only way I actually like them. And you can drizzle it with some extra virgin olive oil. And then add green olives, green peas, cucumbers, and celery into a salad. Those are easy adds, any one of those. Having diced asparagus and spinach in the morning with your omelet. That's, it goes really well with eggs. Fresh, squeeze some lime in your water. That's another way. And lastly, any kind of mixed soup with celery or beet greens or any kind of greens to add. So I hope these have helped you. Make sure you keep dropping some pictures in the comments. Tell us what you've been eating. Pictures are so good. It helps people to be like, oh, that looks so good. I'm going to try that out. At least I'm speaking for myself. That's what I look at. I'm like, I love that. I'm totally trying that out later this week. So you guys have a great day. Any questions, just let me know. You can drop them in the comments or you can contact me personally. Bye for now.